Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal match preview time. It's Arsenal up against Luton, our first game since that big one against Manchester City, and it's now 9 to go. I've done all the calculations, I've looked at all the fixtures, and from the remaining 9 games to be on the safe side or the guaranteed kind of side, you'll need to win like 8 games out of the 9. And obviously, it's still not guaranteed because if you win all your games and Liverpool win all their games, they still win the title. But to be on the safe side and to hope that they drop points somewhere, you have to win 8 out of the 9 games. If you win 7 and draw 2, maybe if goal difference helps you and you keep adding the goals and stuff, that could help us out. But to be on the safe side, you basically need to win like 8 of those games. 7 could be enough, but you never know. But this is the first one. Let's take this one, tick this box fast before the Brighton game over the weekend. So it's not going to be easy. It's Luton. So I have a lot of good things to say about Luton for any Luton fan watching, and most of you would agree, actually. So I think out of all the games that we've played this season, let's not talk about Liverpool and Man City. All the other 17 teams in the league, plus all the others in the Champions League, I think Luton is part of the top 3 in terms of the teams that have given us the hardest games this season. And that is a huge compliment to them. This game, I still remember how much I celebrated that goal. Like, that was an absolutely crazy game. At like around 60 minutes, there were 3-2 up, and then Havertz got a goal to make it 3-3. And then we literally had like 35 minutes to try and look for a goal, and you literally scored in the very final minute of that. And it was a very, very tough game. Declan Rice scoring the winner, one of our many late winners over the last 2 years. That was a huge game. But to Luton, huge respect to them, because that, for me, it's part of the top 3 hardest games we've played this season. And we are not the only ones they've given a hard time to. Luton have given a hard time to Man City. Man City only beat them 2-1. Recently, like 2 days ago, yesterday, at the time of recording, literally this past weekend, Tottenham only beat Luton 2-1, and they scored like they had to come back from behind. A month ago, Luton were leading against Liverpool 1-0 at Anfield. Liverpool came back and scored 4, but they were leading in that game. And they've given games to all the others as well. Tottenham at Luton's place, they gave a game to Man United. They only lost 3-2 to Chelsea. They lost 4-3 to Bournemouth as well. Bournemouth came back from behind. But literally every single game that you see Luton playing, it's always entertaining, and it's always kind of end-to-end, and they always give everyone a game. The only time I've seen them getting battered this season is really maybe the Man City game in the, I think it's in the FA Cup. That's really the only one. Apart from that, they've been giving everyone a game. So fair play to them. I really want them to stay up. Because everyone was really predicting them like to finish bottom of the league and break Derby's record in terms of lowest points in Premier League history. But no, they've showed themselves out, and out of the 3 teams that were promoted, I think they've been the best. The likes of Burnley and Sheffield, they've been thumped several times, but for Luton, not really. And the game that we played against them at their place was really, really tough. So we need to take them seriously for sure. With all that said, though, they're still fighting for their lives. So they have scored 43 goals this and they've conceded 62. So they do concede goals. Only the bottom 2 teams have conceded more goals than them. So will we get back to what we were doing before the Man City game, scoring 5-6 goals against every single team? Or will this be another tight affair? Now, the next games that are coming up, Brighton, Bayern Munich, Aston Villa, this has to be the easiest from all of those teams. So to save yourself some time, you will need to like get a couple of goals early on so that you can afford to rest some of the players in this game. It's not going to be easy, but if we defend well and attack well and, don't give any chances to Morris and those kind of players, that's absolutely fine. Remember, one of the players that really gave us a hard time away from home when we beat them 4-3 was Adebayo, and it was from corner kicks. I think they scored from 2 corner kicks on that day. He's been injured. I don't think he's going to be fit for this game. And since then, we've obviously improved on set pieces even more in terms of scoring and defending them. And we have to back ourselves, after those results against the likes of Man City. We now know that you can win games in a lot of different ways. We can come back from behind like we did against Man United. If you're 2 goals down against Chelsea, we know we can come back from behind. If we are leading 1-0, game is comfortable, and then Brentford end up equalizing, and then we need to score later on, we can do that as well like we did a couple of weeks ago. We can smash teams 5-0, 6-0, home or away. We now know we can do that. And I think in this game, the goal difference is very important. right now we are ahead of all the other teams. We have the best goal scored and best goal considered record. We have a goal difference of 46. Man City have 35. That's 11 ahead of them. For Liverpool, they're on 40, so they're only 6 behind us. And their next game is Sheffield, so you never know. They could easily score 5 goals in that game, and the goal difference is 1, like 1 behind us. You need to keep on scoring goals. You need to keep on scoring goals. That is what you need to do. So if you can get 4 or 5 goals in this game, why not go for it? Because you're not really going to do that in many of the other games like Tottenham away, Man United away, and all those guys. You need to win your game. So really impressed by Luton. It's not going to be an easy game. I predicted like 4-5-0 against Sheffield, I think 4-0 against Burnley. I predicted high scores, but in this one, I will give the Luton the respect they deserve. So players rested. Do we need players rested in this game? Now, we were told that Saka went off in the last game because of fatigue, although he had rested for 2 weeks after during the international break, but it looks like he's still fatigued. To be fair to him, he's played a lot of games over the last 5 years. He's literally played almost every single game. So he's never really gotten like 3 weeks, 1 month rest. And the thing is, but now April and May, we're going to need him for every single game, and he's obviously going to be playing for England at the Euros, probably 4, 5, 6 games potentially in that tournament as well. He's not going to rest anywhere. So there's only a few fixtures you can pick to rest Saka, and maybe this is one of them. We need to go for it. Start the games quickly as we always do. Against Burnley, we were up 1 goal up the first 5 minutes or something. We need to do that. Sheffield, we were up within the first 3 minutes. By 13th minute, it was like 3-0. We need to do that with Luton here. We give them the respect. I've given them the respect. They've been very good this season. I hope they stay up, but not against us. We just need to go out there and do our job. Get 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals if we can, and get out of there. We need that goal difference. As I said, if you end up drawing maybe 2 of those games that are remaining, or let's say 7 wins, a draw and a loss, that goal difference could end up being the difference. Let's say Arsenal draw 2 games and I think Liverpool draw like 3 games, none of them lose. We are going to pick up the I think 2 extra points more than them. So we are going to be on the same number of points. So goal difference is going to be similar. So if Man City win all their games and all that, we could end up in a situation where you need goal difference. And you never know, Man City could cover that goal difference in a couple of games if they get the mojo going. So we need to be careful in terms of that. Keep adding on to the goals. Take your chances. If you get any chances, take your chances. So which kind of lineup would I go for this game? So this is what I have. So in goal, definitely David Raya. No big issue with that. David Raya starts in this game. Listen, Ramsdale is still our goalkeeper. In case Raya is, not fit for some reason or is not available because of bookings or whatever, Ramsdale is the one who's going to come on. But for now, keep it the same. Raya in goal. Defensively. Now, Kiwi is available, Gabriel is available, Saliba, Ben White, Tomiyasu and Zinchenko are now back. So which kind of lineup will we go for in this one? We saw Kivio. Which kind of defense will we go for in this one? Kivio went off for Tomiyasu the other day, which makes sense. Man City, Doku comes on, you bring Tomiyasu, probably our best one-on-one mark in terms of fullbacks. You bring him on and he does the job. So for this game, I would rotate a bit, and this is what I'd go for my defense. I'd have Zinchenko back at left back. This is the kind of game that Zinchenko will really control and dominate and create chances, probably get an assist, maybe even a goal. The ones that we obviously scared when Zinchenko plays is like Man City away and Liverpool away, and he has to mark Salah. But all the others really, Wolves at home, Brighton at home, games that you're going to have a lot of the ball, Luton at home, Sheffield, all those guys, you play Zinchenko, and he hasn't played for a long time. Kiwi has been playing a lot of games, including the one for Poland, 2 games. One of them went to extra time all the way to penalties. Yes, Zinchenko played 2 crucial games as well during the international break, but I think in one of them he didn't start. He came on the second game. So for me, start him in this one against Luton, and then centre backs keep it the same. Gabriel, Saliba, then Ben White keep it the same. There's a part of me that was thinking, should we rest maybe Gabriel or someone, play Kivia next to Saliba, because obviously remember Gabriel has been carrying an injury during the international break. Maybe this is the only time to rest him. But no, I decided to keep it the same because Gabriel did not play during the international break, and Saliba Did not really play during the international break. Apart from the second game, yes, but the first one he did not play, only played one game. So I think they're ready to go. And Saliba's basically played every single game. So keep it the same. That would be my defense. Ben White, Gabriel Saliba, and then bring in Zinchenko for Kivio. Midfield wise. Now, as I said, between Saliba, Gabriel, Rice, and also Saka, where are we going to rest these players? Obviously, Rice and Havertz and those guys, Ben White, they can play every single game without any trouble. But for me, you need to find a way to like rest them somewhere, because even Rice played both 90 minutes for England. So with that said, this would be my holding midfielder for this particular game. So I would go with Thomas Partey. His first start in a long time. I would go with Thomas Partey in my midfield as the number 6. So Jorginho rest for this one. He's also been playing a lot recently. So rotate here. This is the goodness of having a good squad. A squad of you can bring the new defenders, new midfields, and all that. So Partey starts for me in midfield. He came on against Man City, and actually I've watched that game several times. Actually, at the time of recording, that is what I have on TV again. I'm literally rewatching it for the third time already, just to see everything. And it's in the 76th minute. He's playing, and I can see him right now. Yeah, that is the one thing I did not like when De Bruyne went past him. He looked a bit slow. But in a game like this, again, to have a lot of the possession. And for that game, he looked really good for most of it. Like the way he was cutting through the lines and gave that pass to Odegaard that helped us create that chance for Trossard. He looked really comfortable on the ball. So start him in this one. Hopefully he can get through like 60, 70 minutes and then, get himself ready for the big ones that are coming up. You're going to need them for buying. Whether it's starting off the bench, I don't know. But I'll start him in this one. And in front of him, I'd start Rice again and I'd start Martin Odegaard. So what I'd be attempting to do is get the job done, hopefully get a couple of goals before halftime, and I'd be really tempted to take off someone like Declan Rice by halftime or something, or 60th minute. By the 60th minute is off, hopefully. So Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. That midfield that everyone has been asking for, I just realized that's the midfield. I wouldn't mind seeing it here for the first time for a long time. I think you only saw it against Man City in the Community Shield, but you haven't really seen it in the league. Partey was playing as a right back. So that is the midfield I would go for. Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. I was also thinking maybe start Smith Rowe and give Declan Rice a rest and all that. But then I thought, listen, you don't want to change your whole team, Yes, you can change one player here and there, but you don't want to remove Jorginho, bring Partey, also remove Declan Rice, bring a whole new midfield. No, I think you need to balance it out. Maybe you can take off one defender and one forward player, or take off one midfield and one forward player just to rotate. But rotating the whole team at once, it's a bit risky. Remember, I said Luton is not a crap team. Yes, they're 18th, but they give everyone a team. You can't just rock up there and expect a 9-0 victory easily. They're going to give you a game, those Barclays and those guys. So that would be my midfield. What about the front line? So this is what I've decided to go for the front line. So, yep, no Bukayo Saka for me in this one. Trossard starts for me on the left side. Havertz starts up front, and I'm playing Jesus on the right side. I thought of potentially starting Nelson. I wouldn't really have a problem with that, to give Nelson some game time from the start. If he doesn't start this game, I can't really see him starting any others, maybe apart from Bournemouth at home. There's not too many other games that he can start. But start Jesus on the right side. Hopefully start him, and hopefully when he gets a chance, he scores in this game. I want these players to get their confidence up. It doesn't help us if Havertz goes 5 games without a goal, and Jesus goes 5 games without a goal, and Saka goes 5 games without a goal, and Odegaard goes 5 games without a goal contribution. Not at this time. You want them to keep the momentum going. And Havertz was on a very, very good momentum, obviously, before the Man City game. I think he had scored in 4 games in a row. Jesus is just coming back. I remember I said Jesus and Partey, I'm going to give them some off time because they've just come back from injury. That was in the last game, I think, against, was it FC Porto, Brentford, or someone? But this one, we have to now, get to business. We need to get to business, and hopefully both Jesus and Havertz score if they start. I'd love that. Those are the 2 players I really want to score. And Trossard on the left side, he also missed a big chance, poor decision against Man City. I wouldn't mind if he scores as well. Those 3 forward players, they've been really good for us in the Champions League this, and especially Jesus, I think, followed by Trossard. Havertz has gotten a couple of goals here and there, but Jesus and Trossard has been really good in the Champions League, and Havertz has been really good in the Premier League for us recently. So start all 3 of them. This is kind of a new forward line. We've never used this one before. We've used Saka, Trossard, Martinelli. We've used Saka, Trossard, Havertz. We've used Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. We've used all of those ones, but this one I don't think we've used it. So that would be my front line. So how many changes is that? I'm resting Saka and starting Trossard instead. From how many changes from the Man City game? So I'm bringing in Zinchenko for Kivio, and I'm bringing in Trossard for Saka. So the rest of the team stays the same. Partey for Jorginho as well. So 3 changes, sorry. So 3 changes in my team. Rest for those players. So on the bench, we have a really big bench now. We can have like 11 players on the bench or something. So we need to bring that down to like 9, and a few players will have to miss. So for me, the bench: Kivio, Jorginho, Vieira, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Nketiah, Nelson, and Saka. Now, Saka is just there for emergency situations. So we can decide to not include Saka on the bench if he's not 100% and have Tomiyasu on the bench instead. But I only didn't put Tomiyasu there because I didn't feel like we will need him in this game. Bring him back for the rest of the games. But this one, do you really need a lot of defenders on the bench? I don't know, and doesn't really make sense in a game like this, like not to have Nelson and Nketiah on the bench, because if things go so well for us and you're leading 4-5-0, you want to bring in Nelson, Nketiah, Smith, and those guys, so it doesn't make sense having all the big boys on the bench, Saka, Martinelli, and then you're winning the game 4-5-0. Didn't really want to bring them on, so I was even thinking of maybe having a Cedric or an El Neni on the bench as well. If you have 5-0, bring one of them on, but this is what I've decided to go for: Kivio, Jorginho, Vieira, Martinelli, Smith, Nketiah, Nelson, and Saka. If things go away, I don't want to see Kivio. Maybe Kivio can come on for someone like a Gabriel. Listen, I don't mind that. If things go well, can bring in Kivio for Gabriel. That is fine. But I really want to see Vieira in this one, maybe for Odegaard. I'd want to see Smith Rowe, maybe for Rice. I'd want to see Nketiah for Havertz, and I'd also want to see Nelson, maybe for Jesus. So those 4 players mainly: Vieira, Smith, Nketiah, Nelson. I want to see them in this game. Hopefully, only get the job done. That is my lineup. Let me know what your lineup would be for this one. How many changes would you make to the team? Would you just keep everything the same, or would you even rest more players? Let me know. My prediction for the game, as I said, I'm going to respect Luton from the beginning. As I said, they're a really good team, but they do concede goals. We have a really strong defense. I'm not going to give them a goal, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had a couple of chances. So I'm going to go for a respectable Arsenal 3, Luton 0. I think that's respectable enough. There's some tight games like against Sheffield, I was predicting 5-0, 6-0. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory. Go out of there. Hopefully, if the players come off the bench and they can add goals, that would be brilliant. But 3-0 victory wouldn't be the end of the world. But if you can score more, the goal difference would be very important. So 3-0 to Arsenal. Let me know your prediction as well. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.